It was a safe place to rest and eat while we waited for the gunfire in the neighborhood to die down. That night, I went to a neighborhood on the west side of Tripoli with one of the prisoners I had escaped with. I spent a little over a week in Tripoli, giving interviews to the press. I didn't want to do any interviews, except my mother told me that the press had been good about keeping my story alive when I was missing, so I had to do interviews. The NTC paid for me to stay at the Corinthia Hotel, and I got to see some of my friends in Tripoli whom I had come to fight for. Some of the journalists and Human Rights Watch workers were concerned that I had PTSD or other problems. They couldn't understand why I wasn't leaving Libya. They thought I must be seriously psychologically damaged if I was still in Libya a week after escaping from 5.5 months of solitary confinement, wandering around the Corinthia Hotel as if waiting for something. What they didn't know is that I was waiting for something. For Nori. When he learned of my escape from prison, he took the boat from Benghazi to Misrata and then got a ride to the Corinthia Hotel. A few days later, we were headed back to Benghazi. We spent a night or two in Benghazi and then went to Ras Lamouf. I met with the commander of Katiba, Ali Hassan Jabr, Mohammed Fair, and asked if I could join. He agreed, and I was issued a Libyan military ID. He gave Nori and I use of a military jeep and gave us the freedom to use it however we wanted. We later got a dushka from Nori's brother and had it mounted on the jeep with the help of the Ajdavia weapons mechanic unit and others. The fact that Ikfair allowed us to use the jeep as we wanted gave us unlimited freedom during the war. While Ali Hassan Jabr was waiting for orders, we were still free to fight alongside other Katibas, and we did. Nori and I were involved in around 40 engagements with the enemy, and we had many close calls. I fought as a dushka gunner and infantryman at various times in the Battle of Sirte, both with Ali Hassan Jabr and with other Katibas. Nori and I were serving in the war together, as we had always intended before my capture. I got to fight alongside one of the Libyan friends I had come to fight for, a man I had known for years, with him as the jeep driver and me as the jeep gunner. I am grateful that Mohammed Fair gave me the opportunity to serve in the National Liberation Army and fulfill my commitment to my friends and to the Libyan people. He took a real chance on letting a non-Libyan American into the army, and I am forever grateful for the opportunity he gave me. I am not a military man. The closest I came was working as a war correspondent in Iraq and Afghanistan. But the majority of rebels in Libya weren't military men either. They were waiters, shopkeepers, and students who, when the time came, stepped forward and did their duty for their country. I will never forget their courage and their camaraderie. I saw men who were they are some of the greatest men I've ever known. I saw men who were visibly shaken advancing as bullets whizzed overhead, pressing on to take ground from the enemy. I saw wounded men return to the battlefield for another day of combat. I saw a Thawar in a wheelchair at the front line with his rifle in his hands. Libya is not my country, but this struggle wasn't just a Libyan struggle. I'm not Libyan, but I am human, and this was a human struggle for freedom, liberty, and for life itself. I went to Libya because my friends were suffering, and because a place that I truly loved, Libya, was being destroyed by the tyrant Gaddafi. My time in Libya, socially and as a prisoner of the Gaddafi regime, and as a Thawar, has changed me profoundly. I now have an appreciation for freedom, its meaning and what it costs to obtain and keep it, that most Americans will never understand. But Libyans understand it, and Egyptians, and Tunisians, and hopefully Syrians will too, inshallah. In conclusion, there is something I missed from the revolution that I'm hoping you all can help me with. I think you all know what to do. Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
In their life, they haven't realized that this young generation are educated, are smart, are willing to be free, even if they're gonna pay their lives a price for that. With all my passion to the revolution in Syria, that was my passion and my emotion to the revolution in Egypt and Libya and everywhere. I could say something in Arabic that, you know, Umar ibn al-Khattab said, كيف استعبدتم الناس وقد ولدتهم أمهاتهم أحرارا. I want to say I'm a Muslim too. And my kids have been born and raised in the United States. And we came here with full respect to the value of this country. And I taught my kids, you are Arab, you are Muslims. But the first time I heard from my children that I'm an Arab, mommy, because after this revolution. We learned in this country how to defend our rights. And now, the young generation in the Middle East, they learned how to say, no more fear, no more fear. Those people, they say, even in Syria now, yes, Gaddafi did what he did, and with all this bloodshed, you know, the freedom has a price, and we accept to pay that price. So when I look at the TV now, and I said, the best day for me, when Gaddafi been caught on October 20th, and I said this is going to be a big inspiration for my people in Syria. And congratulations for everybody. One more thing I would like to add. Be optimistic. Democracy, it's a long process. It's not a medicine that, you know, we could take like a pill and the next day we could be okay, democratic. We learn democracy in here and we practice it. And we have to learn. This is a long process, and practice and practice. As long as you are one hand and you accept to learn how to debate and negotiate and listen to the others and accept the others, this is how you learn democracy. And let me tell you something about Muslim. When we say it every day in our prayer, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, we say Alameen. We don't say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Muslimin, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Libyan, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Suriyin. We say Al-Alameen, because God is the one who created us a human being. And everybody has the right to be free. And everybody has the right to express his feeling. Everybody has the right to say no or yes or accept others. We learn this in this country with the full respect. We have to learn this. We have to learn this in our country. After the revolution, it's going to be end, and I hope soon in Syria. We have to be hand by hand with the people over there to show them this is the democracy. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam قال وأمرهم شورى بينهم. We haven't learned this from Prophet Muhammad because those dictators, they stepped in our necks all those years for 42 years. And no country was that, the crazy person that who's, you know, he changed the flag and he had a green book, whatever, and he doesn't even memorize his own book. But in Syria, the father after the son. And those people, instead of looking to the West and how the democracy starts to spread all over, they want to go back. And he's going to give his son and his son to his son, like they are the smartest people in the world, and nobody can tell him no. So I'm really, with all this passion, I am really, really happy to be, an honor for me to be with all of you guys over here. It's an honor for me, and I hope we're going to celebrate and have the same day for Syrian people. Thank you very much.